Hello and welcome to Brew Babes podcast. We are still on the road. I don't think we're ever going home again. We just keep booking more and more opportunities. So we're just gonna be brewery hoppers, which is fun because we get cool beer all the time. But I am here today with the amazing St. Pete beer babe herself, the event goddess, and my beer life mate, Kat Jones. How are you today?
Better now with the little tall boy Pilsner in my hand.
Right? This is a kind of a circle moment
Yeah, I was thinking that on the way here, actually.
because our first two episodes were filmed here, and they did not go well because we had the worst equipment ever.
Well, we were learning,
We
so
were
we're
learning.
kind to ourselves. We were just getting started, so
But we've learned a lot since then. We've upgraded a lot since then, and now we get to come back, and we get to come back with our friend Abby, who is one of the brewers here at Southern Lights. She has gone in and put her little hands of magic into everything that we're doing here, and
sprinkling love.
all of our little brewing.
Yeah, just dip my whole hand in every brew. It's worked out. I don't know.
You know what? I'll take it. It tastes good. Like I'm okay with that. Like honestly, I'd be like, yeah, okay, tastes good.
Just a little.
Yeah, right.
That's what makes it so sweet, right?
I didn't say I lick my fingers beforehand.
And I
That's,
didn't allude to that either. Sorry.
We're taking it too far. No, Abby, how are you doing today?
Doing pretty good.
We have not seen you since Jacksonville.
Yes.
Which seems like a lifetime ago.
Yeah, seriously.
Because of all of our travel, but it was actually only about 10 days ago. So, or maybe 2 weeks ago now.
Was that really? Oh my god.
Yeah.
I have no concept of
Yeah,
time.
it's 10 days ago is the last time we saw Abby, which is insane
Yeah.
because we've been in so many places since then. And if you follow us on our social media, then you have seen all of the crazy antics that have gone on, and we have so much more to put out there. But today we're here to talk to Abby. We know you well. We've seen you a bunch of times, and we saw you in Jacksonville and got to hang out with you for a few days. But not everybody else who listens to us has been able to see you and talk to you and all of that. So we're so happy to have you on. And the first question we always have to ask: do you have a beer story? How did you get into this crazy life?
Of course, I have a beer story. So I originally was invited out by some friends at a job I had, and they invited me to this beer bar. And I was like, okay, whatever. Can't be bad, right? Turned out they had like 40 beers on tap. That was slightly intimidating, but just whatever. Then I started going out once a week with like the same people and started talking to the bartenders. And they were homebrewers. And they told me, it's like, they're like, yeah, you can make this stuff if you really like it. Like, it's not that hard. And I go, okay. So I became a home brewer and I found like a homebrew group, and we were actually homebrewing once a month behind Nolan's Pub in Safety Harbor. And yeah. And then like after
Like outside, because that's like
outside, yeah,
a dirt grass lot there.
kind of. There was like maybe one parking spot,
Oh, yeah.
cement space.
Okay, yeah.
So there was maybe there was me, another female, maybe two other guys, and everyone would brew their own homebrew stuff. And then like a month later, when it was ready, we would bring it back to Nolan's, let everybody try it,
This is great.
and then talk about the next beer we were gonna brew
Oh my god, that's awesome.
behind Nolan's,
Yes.
So
And
it's like,
Nolan's, for those of you that don't know, Nolan's is a very small little Irish pub.
right, no longer exists anymore,
Yeah.
unfortunately, but
R.I.P.
RIP.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's like what I did back in the day.
So this was like true like back alley brewing.
Yeah.
Parking lot brew.
Parking lot brews.
That's so great.
That is awesome. And from there, you like
Right.
how did you go from back alley brewing?
Right. So I would so then I started bringing my homebrew to the bartenders that worked at this pub that got me into homebrewing.
Yeah.
Which, nod to them, the bartenders now own Soggy Bottom. So they made it.
Yeah,
And
very
then
cool.
and then all of a sudden this brewery was going to open up and they were looking for volunteers.
Yeah.
So I put my hat in the ring to volunteer. I was volunteering like one day a week while working another job. And then after a few months, they're like, "Hey, do you want a job?" And I was like, "Okay." And so became a keg washer, and it's kind of been history from there.
That's really cool.
That's really cool, and I think everybody has, like, this, like, meandering, like, way of getting into the like,
It's somehow
everything.
it always involves someone else roping you in.
Yeah.
I've found,
Mhm.
I
"Hey,
noticed
I really like this. Do
I've
you wanna
noticed
do
that.
this with me?"
We are a community, and
Yeah.
I think we do pull people in. It's like, "Oh, I love this community so much, so you'll love it too, so let
Mhm.
me find a spot where you
Yeah,
fit."
in that way, we are very, inclusive to
Yeah,
people,
I definitely think that. So and so that was not this brewery that you started with
No.
then?
So the first brewery I had an opportunity to work at was HOB Brewing Company in
Okay.
Dunedin.
Yep.
They were on 2-barrel system. So I was like gathering hops, handing it to somebody to throw it in, washing kegs on a manual
Right.
system.
Yeah.
And then, right. And you're like, oh, this goes someplace bad. No. And then to see them grow from a 2-barrel system to then eventually
Mhm.
working my way to be able to brew beers on their 10-barrel brew house was pretty amazing,
Yeah.
Yeah.
pretty inspiring, just to see them like grow from, putting their fermenters, which I would call the fermentation station, into basically like a, 60-degree cooler to then
Right.
having 10-barrel and 20-barrel tanks, just seeing that growth
That's really cool.
That is really
exponentially.
cool.
And then before I left, they were putting in 30-barrel
Wow.
tanks. They got like a centrifuge
Yeah.
and like carb, you know.
And the tap room at all the whole time was growing too,
Right. The
right? Because
tap
that
room was
was
growing. Yeah. So
Yeah.
like I bartend like I asked one of the owners, I was like, "Hey, can I like put my hand in bartending?"
Yeah.
Because I don't know what that was.
yeah,
Like, and so I
that's
got
cool.
to bartend with Cortland Kane, who trained me on Sundays, and that's like respect people who bartend because
Yeah.
that's a whole different world.
It
Like,
is a
good for
We respect
you.
we
brewers
respect
so
brewers.
much because it's a whole different world.
Way
'Cause
easier.
when you
Way
and
easier.
you're like, "We're just gonna homebrew and it's so easy," and I'm like, "In theory, I know how to brew," but as soon as, like, I'm involved in it, I'm like, I'm so lost here."
Yeah.
And so, like, no, I have mad respect for brewers, like, it's I'm just bad at the sciencey stuff. Like, put me in front of people,
It's too
I'll
much
make it work.
cleaning for
It's
me,
such cleaning.
honestly.
So much.
80% of my job is cleaning.
No, I know. It's
Yeah.
just like it's precision. I'm not great with precision, but I
I'm
make up in personality, and that's what
Yes.
makes me a good bartender.
That is where like, a different owner from a different brewery was like, "You can follow a recipe," and I'm like, "Okay, I have the ability to read a recipe and measure out and put those things in and follow the instructions. I don't know if I have the willpower to actually stick to a recipe in anything." And I think that's where I would make a very bad brewer. But I have so much respect for people that do it, I really do. I mean, like, it's an art, and coming from the food and beverage industry, because I did work in the kitchen, saute chef, and I made bread and things like that, which is, again, an art. So, I definitely understand
So
that
true.
kind of, like, art of it, so I have so much respect for that, yeah, and it's not when you it's so easy, but I get it, everybody has their role, and I always find being behind the bar so easy.
Yeah.
Like, "Oh, I
Well,
just talk to people all day."
I appreciate when people do both. Like
Mhm.
you saying you tried your hand at bartending, and like it gives you a different perspective, I think.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Because now, mind you, I was bartending a little bit before COVID and then during
Mm.
COVID. So,
Oof.
like, they had to get like some kind of food license so
Yeah.
that they could be open as they were
Mhm.
like selling $10 hot pockets, so they could be open. Like, that was like the
Yeah.
joke of it all. And so I
I
know.
remember that.
I
Yeah.
know.
No, I literally
No,
remember
yeah,
And
yeah,
having
yeah.
a hot pocket there.
so many breweries did
Yeah.
that, where it's like all of a sudden we're
Right.
making, like, frozen pizzas
Yeah.
and
Right.
pretzels and
Right.
yeah.
So that they could stay open. And so like
Mhm.
I had to like not only like then now deal with because we have like the outside patio
Mm.
and then the technical inside with the lovely tiny ass sanction from the brew house, right? So luckily people didn't try to wander in there. But I had to like kind of like herd cats to like order a beer and get out if they weren't gonna wear a mask. And I you
Oh,
know what
right,
I
'cause
mean?
there
So,
was still
like
that mask
so
I
there was
remember
that
that.
still
going
that
on.
mask mandate, and I was like, "This is not fun."
Yeah.
That
No.
was the worst time to be a
It
bartender too.
was. It was the worst. It was the hardest time. It was the hardest time to be in kind of food and beverage anyways, because everybody wanted to get out of their house and go do something, even if it was just for a little bit, like, just, like, be normal for a minute, but then you couldn't actually go somewhere and be normal. Like, you still had all these other restrictions, which would then frustrate people, and then you have the people working there that are like, I want it like, I want your experience to be so good,
Yeah.
but, like, I still have to follow the rules, and, like, we still have to make sure everybody's safe,
Right.
and so it was a rough time for everyone in
Like,
the
you became
business.
basically you were policing people at that point
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
you were like, "Hey, dude, don't ruin it for everybody
right.
and get
Yeah.
us shut down, and now you can't come here. You live somewhere else,
Yeah.
but you can't
Yeah,
now come here to hang out."
Yeah.
yeah. It was a hard time. I mean, it was a hard time in every industry. I mean, it was a hard time of people being stuck in their home. It was just a hard time.
Hard time.
Yeah, right? It was oof, and that would be a rough time to, like, to be your start
Yeah.
in that arena. No, so I can appreciate that. So and now you're here.
Yeah, now I'm here. I've been at Southern Lights now, let's see, September should be 3 years.
Oh, I love
Wow.
Yeah.
that.
I love that. I mean, I've seen you here for a long time, but I guess it just didn't register, like, how many years that's been.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But no, I think that's awesome. And so the first craft beer you ever had, do you remember what it is?
Mm. I mean, craft beer?
Yeah,
Um, hey, what's the opposite, Abby? Craft beer?
yeah.
Regional craft beer.
I would probably say, like, what I can remember, like, going to D Hub 40 Taps, would be, like, Lost Coast Tangerine Wheat,
Oh
Okay.
because it
yeah.
was, like, 1,
Mhm.
it was always on, and then I realized the night that my friends took me was the cheapest night to go, right? It was, like, half
Right.
off ciders, wheat beers, lambics, and wines.
Right.
That's
So,
cool.
like, I was, like, ordering what was on sale at the time. So, I think it was, like, Lost Coast Tangerine Wheat, and then I just kept drinking that for a while.
Have your taste buds changed since then?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
What do you normally drink now?
To be honest, if, like I say, like, if I, like, walk into a new brewery, I'll look to see what they have. I'll look at all their lagers. I'll look to see what their IPAs are, see if they have a brown ale. So it can vary. It
Yeah.
depends what it is, like, in front of me.
Mhm.
But I would say I've probably been gravitating a lot to lagers.
That makes me so sad.
No, it makes
No,
me
I
so
know, I
happy.
know. I'm not. I like full
She just likes
flavored
to talk shit
lagers.
about
I
loggers.
know, I like full flavored lagers, but I don't like the light lager, like, trend, and it's, like, getting bigger,
Well
and I get it, like
I mean, though, it's like there's more than just light lagers,
well, yeah.
right? Like, there's
No,
dark lagers
there's
out
a
there.
ton,
Like, there's
and I'm
you
good with a
can
Vienna lager or something like that, I'll
right.
drink that all day. It's, the light ones that everybody is, really going crazy over. Not enough people do brown ales on their tap list.
Yeah.
Because no one's gonna drink them.
Well,
That's why
I would
I
drink
will
it.
die on a
Put a
hill
brown
for a
ale on your
brown ale,
menu because
but
I will drink it.
yeah, like, now I'm, like, sad with, like, Spruce, Cigar City. I'm like, "Am I ever gonna see Maduro brown ale again?"
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they're moving, so maybe. Who
We
knows?
don't know what's
I
yet
don't
to
know what
come
that's
for
I
them.
don't know how that's gonna pan out yet, so
No, it is kind of funny to like when you go to a place, you're checking out the beer list to see what they have that you couldn't
mhm,
usually get. Like a lot of people, and I've told a lot of people to come here. Obviously, I'm impartial because I love
right.
everyone that in this building, but you don't get a lot of Belgians,
Oh,
at a
yeah.
brewery, which is something that you guys, really are well known for. And then when you're in distribution, it's like you really can't get a lot of Belgians in distribution.
Yeah,
And if you do, they're kind of, they're hella expensive, so whatever.
right.
But like, not every brewery brings in guest taps, and a lot of breweries focus on making their own
Mhm.
beer, which is great. But like, sometimes, you make what you're good at, and so you have these breweries that based on their brewers' knowledge and what
Yeah.
they're passionate about, what they're excited about, that's what they're brewing. So it's kind of cool that you guys have a very, very wide
You have a
variety.
diverse menu.
There is.
It really
It really
is.
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, and
Not that
all
I'm
of it
but
no, I yeah. I mean, I
One
really
of the
like it
best.
here, but yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
no,
okay.
It's alright, it's alright.
It's okay.
it's
It's
all
okay.
right. No, but I mean, I think that there's breweries that specialize in one thing, and that's what you're gonna find on their menu. But you guys have a really diverse menu, and sometimes people diversify their menu, but you can tell which ones that they either enjoy brewing or like brewing more because those are the ones that are just, I mean, out of this world. Like, this is
Freaking winning
fantastic.
medals.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
there's some where it's like, okay, this is okay. But I've never had a beer here where I've been like, okay, it's all right. Everything I've always had, even types of beer that I don't normally drink, I can have it here and be like, wow, like this is really well made. So like I'm a big fan of everything on here. So
I don't usually drink a Pilsner, but when I do, it's a tall boy.
it's a tall boy, yeah. Yeah, so I mean that's a testament to you and to everybody else that's here, is that, you're really putting a lot into the craft. And I want to say it, like we went to an event where the woman who has the brewery in Maine, and she only makes Czech Pilsner.
But yeah, that was great.
And she was like, "That's what I like. That's what I know. That's what I do well. And I bring in gas taps for everything else because if you are winning medals on a Hefeweizen, why am I going to try to make a Hefeweizen? I'll bring in yours." And I think both ways are solid.
Yeah.
Like if you're like, "Hey, I don't enjoy brewing this, but I'm going to bring in the people who do
that,
it well."
That was a very interesting type of tap room too.
Yes. Yeah. Well, she was a very interesting.
She's a little baddie. We gotta look.
She is.
Yeah,
I know.
I want to go there.
Yes, I do. It's in Maine, so but no, I want to go because she was amazing. I mean, I've heard there's other breweries in Maine, but I think both.
Are there?
Yeah.
There more breweries than me.
Not,
We've got the little travel bug right now. I'm ready to go.
I know.
Hop all over the country. Let's bring Abby with us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just travel.
Let's
Can
just
you use a
right.
camera?
road
Because
trip.
we need
Can
a
I
camera
use a
person.
camera? Yeah, of course I can use a camera. Well, I don't know. Let's see. Bring me along. You don't know until I put it in my hand.
We need a camera person that does not want any money
Sorry,
to be a
please.
camera person.
Get my beer out. Are you capable of functioning?
Put a
Your
pillow
phone.
under my head. You feed me and maybe buy me a beer too.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
We're good.
Get a film crew to
So-
follow us throughout the country.
So Abby not only is going to be brewing at Southern Lights, but maybe she'll be a film crew for Brew Babes. You never know what happens here. You guys here have some events coming on. You have a new beer coming out,
Yeah,
and you have some events. So tell us about it.
So actually, today we have a new beer on tap. We made a session IPA. It is 4.2, 4.3. It's called Low Quench.
Yeah.
Oh.
It has a label in the makes to possibly can.
Ooh, is that the little hoppy boy that
On the
was
floaty?
teased on the floaty?
Yeah,
I love
yeah,
that.
yeah.
That was so cute.
And
That's a cute
it's
flavor.
kind of almost smash beers. So single malt, single hop.
Cool.
The malt would be 2-row, and the hop is I believe it's
Oh,
crush. So
okay.
crush,
Ooh.
and that's also like a new hop for us to do
Yeah.
too. So that's really
Yeah.
fun side. So like I was telling the bartender, like I get to try these beers through all stages. Fermentation before we dry hop, crashing it, carbonating it, and then
Right.
today I actually tried it on the tap.
tap.
Yeah.
So like it does have, I think it's anywhere about like 40, 45 IBUs, which
Nice. Yeah, it was,
which is
was
still
really
so it
great
has
stuff.
still that like bitter bite to it,
But it's
but there's
not
still a
crazy.
bit of a crush gives off this like which I got during fermentation was like mango lychee fruit
Okay.
salad.
Yeah.
And so it's still there. It's just a little bit undertone because obviously you're getting it from the hops and you're not
Right.
necessarily getting it from any purees. So it's there. You got to swim through it, but it's very crushable
That's the floaty.
and it's light.
So she just like pushes it with her hand. She starts like, we'll just paddle a little.
Right. Get to the deep end. You'll be fine. The water is nice and cool. Yeah. So this is really exciting to see because I think a lot. You can look at our board. Sometimes we have a little high ABV beers,
Little bit.
just a little
Yeah.
bit.
Just a little
So
bit.
we're trying to like ease into doing some sessionable, low.
Yeah, actually, now that I'm
easy-
thinking about groupers, like your lowest ABV IPA, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's still pretty up there.
That's pretty man. That's like a 6.
Yeah.
ish,
No wonder I like hanging
6.5.
out here so
Yeah, I know,
much.
right? This is
Right, because you
this is how
forget
they
that you're
I mean,
here
hey, it's
after
no
a few years.
right.
derogatory shots will get
This
you
is this is how they
ooh-wee.
this
Right.
is how they get us here. No, and for anyone who doesn't know, because we're using some of these words like a session, it just means a lower ABV.
Mhm.
And normally you're going to see an IPA that's going to be in that 6.5 to 8.5 range.
Right.
And this is going to be significantly lower. So
Significantly lower,
you're
yeah.
going to get that ABV of a light lager, but still have that full flavor, full body of an IPA. And then the crushable, that's a type of hop. And every hop gives off a different flavor. And I don't think everybody realizes that. So, like, we put these hops, like the name of it. And I know so many people come in, they're like, I don't even know what that means, or they'll taste it like I'm drinking a Hefeweizen. I always drink the Hefeweizen here because it's really good. But then, you'll get that slight bit of a banana undertone because you should get that. And people be like, well, no, why are you putting bananas in it? Well, we're not. That's just the mix of the esters as you bring out the
Mhm.
beer that it's going to bring out that flavor, which is the same thing as that hop. You're not putting in those tropical
Correct.
fruits.
It's all from the hops and the hop oils, and I can't tell you all the names and what they mean, but
Mm.
at some point there's certain oils that give off certain
Mm-hmm.
flavors depending on where they're grown, and the soil and the climate
Yeah.
can change everything. And you know you kind of at this point, with making an IPA, it's kind of what fruit flavors do you want, or what
Yeah.
pine flavors do
Right.
you want, or what herbal, floral, resin, dank, what do you want? Go
Yeah.
find
Absolutely.
it
Yeah.
and then figure out, write your recipe.
Yeah, I really admired that about, like, working here, working with you. You brought those, like, sheets out to, like, describe what flavors come from what hops. And here at the brewery, the guys are very, interested in and passionate about training the bar staff to know what the
Mm-hmm.
beers are all about,
Yes.
which I wish that every brewery,
I do
could
too.
do that. But they make sure that the bartenders know, what hops are in each beer, which can be a really important thing when you're just discovering
Yes.
IPAs, which I believe
Right.
that everybody does love IPAs, but they just haven't found their IPA yet.
No, and I agree with that.
But you got to find out what you like.
Yeah.
And so if you go, wow, this is the best IPA I've ever had, what the heck is in this to your bartender, and your bartender is educated
Right.
on what is actually in the beer, if there is an adjunct like a puree, or if it is just coming off of the hops, and
Mhm.
then what hops that beer has, then you as a beer drinker can better
Yes.
understand what you like. And then you go to the next bar and you have another IPA and you go, this one's got Citra hops.
Mhm.
I know I like the grapefruit from that, so
Right.
I'm going to order that one. Or, oh, I don't like Idaho 7 because it is a little bit too much for me. Like then you can better understand your drinking experience. And that goes with any ingredient. I just love it. IPAs.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that's, when
Do,
I
do, do,
there's
do.
so many people, especially women, but people in general, because I get this a lot from men too that go, "Well, I'm just not an IPA drinker."
Yeah.
And I did that when I first got into the industry too. Like IPAs just aren't my thing. But it was really because I didn't like the hop profile of a Citra hop, which is super popular. And it's in so many IPAs, it's in so many people's beers, which is fine because a lot of people like it, but I didn't particularly care for it. So, but then when I started going into other brews that were more like, your Centennial or Mosaic, and I was like, I actually like this way better. And so then like being able to try beers with different hops because nobody had explained that to me. So I'm going in places going, I just don't
That's
really,
what a podcast is all about. We're
yeah,
supposed to be mansplaining, I think,
right.
right?
Oh gosh, I have so
Wait,
many,
wait. When women do it, it's just explaining. When men do
right.
it, it's mansplaining.
It's
Sorry.
just educating when we do it.
Just education. Wait, sorry, yeah.
But yeah, so many people behind the bar when I was like, "Oh, I just don't care for that," didn't realize that. And I feel like that's something that, for like me when I'm behind the bar, I do explain that. Like, "Hey, okay, like you may like this one. You may like a session IPA because that's going to be a little different." And I've told people about hazies because hazies a lot of times are a little easier drinking. They're a little easier to go down. And so I think that I think a lot of people like IPAs. They just don't understand that IPA is not a single taste.
Correct. Sorry. But that's
That
also
was
the
forceful. Like you
those
meant that.
Yes.
correct.
Sing it,
Yes. Well,
girl.
well, here we have, let's see, we have a pale ale. We have
Murder log. I'm trying to
murder.
name them
Yeah,
all.
we have murder
No, I
log.
wanna name them.
Oh,
You
okay. We
tell me
have a
when
pale ale.
yeah, murder log.
Okay. What's the tropical IPA?
Tropical Strata?
No, but that's good.
Damn it. Oh, is that our grouper
Yeah,
shorts? Okay.
I would say it's more
Our, like, I
topical.
still work here? Okay.
Yeah, right. So then there's Strata, yeah.
Stratapocalypse.
And
But
then
that's
what's more
100%, right? That's all Strata
yeah,
beer?
it's all
Yeah.
Strata.
That's why I like that one so much.
So and then
Your big
what's
boy,
the New Zealand IPA?
blurred pictures.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now we have low quench,
Now we got the little
and then
punch.
obviously we have
Little
a double IPA. So we have so many
derogatory.
IPAs on the board, but each
Right.
beer is very different. So like when a bartender, has someone come in and they're like, "I like IPAs. Give me one." And we're like, "Well, I got like 5. Which one do you want?"
Yeah.
Well, let's get you a flight.
Right.
Right.
And then we'll talk.
And yeah.
There you go.
Just
And
kidding. Bartenders never recommend a flight.
you know what? Because
Unless it's dead, then
I
they
work a
recommend.
lot of Sundays, and there's like a period of a Sunday afternoon where I actually will have just a few people here and there at the bar, and then I will be like, when they're like, I like an IPA, I'm like, well, I have 4, which is the perfect amount for a flight. But I'll
Ditto.
recommend it when I know that I can do it well. And I don't recommend it when it's like 40 people just showed up through the door at the
Yeah,
exact
no,
same
I understand.
time, and I'm the only one here.
Right. Well, but my brain goes, all right, because obviously I'm not bartending, right? But I want people to experience, I want people to try them all,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
At the
Yeah.
same time, it's like, sure, yeah, let's kill kegs so then I can refill kegs. But like at the same time, I'm like, you know what? Let's give people the experience.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
maybe they find something that they really like, come back to the bar and order it again.
Right.
But that's, obviously that's back of house mentality,
No,
you
and
know?
I think it's just like that's the mentality that I've had while we've been traveling too.
Right.
I've gotten more flights than I ever have
I have.
because I always get the chance to come back to a
Mhm.
brewery that's in my area, right? But when I was, even out in Tallahassee, I was like, I want to get a flight because I'm not going to be here for 4 beers.
Right.
I just want to have a little bit of everything. And just because I don't like one beer doesn't mean that I'm not going to like this brewery. And so for me, it's like a chance to get to explore lots of different
Sure.
things. And I'd rather do a flight and pay for it than ask my bartender for
For a
5
million
samples. Yeah.
samples, yeah. That is the one thing that I see, like, when I travel, I do more flights because I feel like one beer doesn't really show off a brewery because I could just get something that is not the way I particularly like it. Like,
Yeah.
I could have a blonde ale somewhere where normally I might, in Tampa, we may, kind of all collectively make blonde ales the same way, but this is a different area, so they're making it to work to that area, and I may not like that. And so I don't wanna walk away going, "I didn't really like that brewery,"
Right.
because I only really had 1 beer out of, maybe 20. So I do tend to, when I'm traveling, get more flights where when I'm local, it's like, I can just come back." And I'm gonna come back. Even if I had something that I wasn't like a super big fan of, I'm gonna go back because I try
If
to support
if
everybody.
if they have like, because there's so much as much as beer is important, and it should be the first and foremost, but there's
Yeah.
so many things that go into what a brewery is,
Yes.
and that's the people, that's the atmosphere, it's the clientele sometimes. It's,
Definitely.
but beyond, like, service, it's just like, this is such a cool spot because I know a lot of pinballers that come here,
Yes.
and, like, they're literally I know
I
they can't
know.
see it,
They
but
can't see it, but
I know.
we've done a video here before of the whole thing, which we'll do again. But yeah, no, there's like pinball machines. You
if
can't see
you're
it, but they're everywhere.
if you're a nerd and you've like, the pin when
Wednesday,
you're
free pinball
Wednesday, if you
all
come
day.
on down, come on down.
So we're almost at Oktoberfest. When is your Oktoberfest?
Let me pull up my notes to make sure, but I do believe, yes, it's October 12th.
Love
Nope,
that.
I'm just kidding.
No.
September 12th. My bad.
Okay.
September 12th. I know. You said October, not my brain. But yeah, it's gonna be all day event.
Okay.
We have obviously a lot of German beers on already all the
Right.
time. We have our Marzen.
Marzen attacks.
Marzen attacks,
Ooh.
yeah. I had an opportunity with Pink Boots and made a smoked tallow, so that'll be on.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I love a smoked beer always.
Obviously, our smoked porter is finally back on.
Battle
So
Pug.
Battle Pug. We
I like
have
this
the
game. I'm good at this
Pilsner
game.
and the
Goblin.
Hefeweizen.
Grain Man.
Yeah,
She's
but the
good. She's good.
Hefeweizen is almost always on.
Yes.
So, because every time I come here, I get one.
Well, this batch is even, in my opinion, the best.
Why is it the best?
I think it carries a lot more banana flavor forward
It
this
does.
time.
Hmm.
And so we then were able to make another one right after. And the next one, it's not that it's not bad. It's just not as banana-y
Not
as
as
this
banana-y.
batch. So like this batch, get it while you can.
Okay, heard. Do you just because we're all learning in our experience here, but the banana esters are coming from the yeast?
Yes.
Yeah. And so are you guys using like generational yeast here?
We are
Cool.
trying, and
Because
kind
yeast is
of
a kind of a really expensive part of beer.
And it's an art.
Yeah.
That is an art in the beer. Like, not only is the beer making itself an art, but just the yeast and then trying to use generational yeast is an art form.
But from my understanding, you can share your yeast with different beers, right? So like maybe like your Belgians and your Hefeweizen, you could use, like, you have to do it in order, right?
Right. So they don't share, but the Hefeweizen and the Dunkel do share the same.
Okay.
There you go.
So,
Alright.
so obviously you wouldn't make Dunkel first because it's going to change the color of your yeast, and you
Right.
don't want there to be
Oh, right.
impartial
Right.
in changing the color of your
Yeah,
Hefeweizen.
science.
So we would make so obviously the Dunkel doesn't sell as fast. It is a great beer. I don't drink it that much, but there are people who love it and come for it
I love a good
only.
Dunkel, yeah.
Yeah.
And so,
Like a brown ale, though, it doesn't
maybe,
sell as
Yeah.
well. Yeah.
maybe if we need like Dunkel, we'll make Grain Man and then Dunkel.
Right.
Mm.
And then maybe depending on once we use it in the Dunkel, the yeast is then no more
And that's it.
because we're not going to make another Dunkel because there's no sense.
Right.
Gotcha.
It's not going to sell that fast.
Cool.
I mean, yes, we could hang on to it forever, but at some point, maybe we shouldn't.
Right.
Yeah.
But so then sometimes we'll do Grain Man,
Grain Man, Dunkel.
And I want to
depending on
point that
how long
out.
the yeast
How long
survives.
the yeast survives. Cool.
Like, that's something that I think people need to understand about breweries also, is that, like, listen, having a Dunkel is great, and I will love it, but that doesn't mean that it's necessarily going to sell. And so you do have to kind of, like, put into your thought, like, what is going to sell, because it doesn't make, like, if you're taking up space, if you're taking up a tap line, all of those things on a beer, like, that's money. So if you're not making that money back on it, like, you can have it because some people are going to want it, but you have to make sure that you're making it in, seasonal, or it's in small batches and things like that. And I think too many people don't understand that part of the business, that at the end of the day, we're all beer lovers, but it is also a business. And so you do have to look at the business end of, like, I may love a Dunkel. And I do think that there's breweries, especially kind of breweries that just start out, that go, but I love it, so that's what I want on tap.
Yeah.
And, I think the ones that, because we talk about how the industry is hard. I think it's adjusting. But a lot of people are saying, it's a hard industry to be in. But I think the breweries that do think of it like that are doing much better than some of the ones that maybe are just like, yeah, but I like this. So, like, there's breweries that just don't do any lagers. They're like, I don't like them. I don't want anything to do with them. But it's like, but that is what's selling. But no, I love that you brought that up, of, like, not even do you have to think about the yeast, the generational yeast of, like, hey, we can get this many batches of a Hefeweizen out of it. Then, once we use it for a Dunkel, that's it. And that business end of it is, like, to make sure you're spacing that out correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Production schedules, baby. Am I right? Nothing pisses off a salesperson like a production schedule.
Or a front of the house person.
Yeah,
I feel like you're trying to tell us something.
No.
Yeah.
No. Everything's
We're good.
You know,
Everything's good.
I was telling Danielle how we met
Oh
back in the
gosh.
day.
No,
How
this
did
is
we
a great story.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, I
I
do
know.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah, I
You
think
want to tell it?
Well, I was
You
a
want
dog.
me to tell it?
I want you to tell it. I don't know that I have the details. Was it
So,
dog bar? Am I
it
right?
was dog
okay.
bar.
Yeah. All right.
But
See, I
we
know
did
things.
meet at a Pink Boots event first at
That's
Grand
true.
Central.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm going to go with you on that.
Does
Yeah,
she
yeah,
believe
yeah.
me, folks?
Oh
I
no,
don't know.
but that was the same day.
Yeah,
Because we walked to. Then we walked to dog bar.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're picking up what we're putting down.
Yeah. Was that the witches one? No, that was like 2 years ago.
This is a while ago.
This was a while.
Yeah.
So okay,
Yeah.
So I was a salesperson at that time.
Yeah. You were a salesperson at that time.
And
yeah.
I was trying to get, more involved in the community. Pink Boots was a little, it was bigger back then.
Yeah.
It was much more like pronounced. Don't worry, we're bringing it back.
We're bringing it back.
We're doing the things.
Yeah.
But there was like there was a bunch of people there.
There were. And
Yeah.
like I was telling Danielle, I was like very new, didn't know anybody. Because me stepping into this business, I mean, come on, like not going to high school going, I'm gonna be a beer brewer, it's
Yeah, you don't like no
there's
7-year-olds
no like
I'm
advertisement
gonna be a
about
brewer when I grew up. Yeah.
right, unless dad or mom
Unless
is,
it's
right?
a family business. Yeah. I guess
Yeah.
Yeah. But kind of just, like you said, someone either ropes you into it or it just kind
Yeah.
of like I guess like falls into your lap on accident and you just pick it up and run with it. So met up at Grand Central. I think it was just a meetup. And I'm like, I don't know anybody. Nobody knows who I
Yeah, it
am.
was
I'm
like
just
a
gonna
little
awkwardly
happy
just sit
hour
there, just talk to
upstairs.
some other ladies that may or may not do the same job as me. And then like, whatever. And then all of a sudden you were like, I'm going to dog bar afterwards. You wanna come? Come. And
That
then
checks out,
That
yeah.
and then I was
"You going
like,
to dog bar? You going to dog bar? We're going to
"Right,
dog bar. You
we're
going to
all
dog
going to
bar?"
dog bar." And I'm just
Oh, oh, okay.
great. Like,
Where's
never
that?
never been,
Did
but
I
I mean
hold your hand and then we skipped to dog
no,
bar?
because you left first, and then I
Oh,
was gonna
okay.
hang out a little bit and then see maybe where everyone else is go, because 'cause I'm, like, 30 minutes from St. Pete.
Right.
So, like, not only did I drive there, but at the same time, it was like, it's like, "One in St. Pete, you might as well do something in St. Pete."
Do the
So
St. Pete things, and the
right.
most St. Pete thing to do in St.
is
Pete is
dog bar.
dog
Dog
bar.
bar?
That is
Okay,
true.
well, I
For
get it.
anyone
I
who
get
hasn't
it.
been in St. Pete, and if you don't know, like there's Grand Central is a brewery there, and it's beautiful. And
Oh
they're
god,
great there.
gorgeous.
They're
Yeah.
but Dog Bar is like literally like just down the street.
Mhm.
Like, and it is everybody, even if you're not from St. Pete, but you're in the area, like everybody's heard of Dog Bar.
Mhm.
It's just a thing. Like it's just one of those things that you go to. That and like
They've got I would say 20, 25, 30 craft beers on
oh
tap.
yeah,
So they're like a craft beer. It's
Right.
not just about the dogs.
Right.
no,
Well, and then they have liquor too, and
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what you were there trying to push the liquor.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, my liquor days.
yeah.
I was
But
trying to get everybody to do shots or something.
I think the shot was like a pineapple upside down shot.
I do remember that.
Yeah, I
I do
know.
remember doing that. Yeah.
Yeah, and you asked me if I wanted one, I said, "No, thank
Say
you."
no. Yeah. I
Yeah,
do
yeah.
remember that.
And then we chatted, we exchanged numbers, and I was
Yes.
telling
We
her
were
that,
sitting at the
like
end of the bar. Yeah.
right, I was telling her I'd put your name in as Cat with the storm lightning bolt
Oh.
emoji.
and
And then
then
I
she
was
had to
like
change it
and then
someday.
I had to change it.
I was gonna say if I
Yeah.
called you right now, would that pop up though?
No.
It'd be a cat emoji.
No, when you
Yeah.
started working here, it was a lightning or it was like a light bulb.
Oh, because of the
Oh,
lights.
Yeah, we're the lights.
Lights. I like that.
that is awesome.
Aw.
That's what you do. You rope
Friends.
us in.
Yeah. So it's not you. So I rope
Yeah,
everyone
you
into
rope
this shit.
everybody in. You know what? The funny thing is, and we've never actually told this story. So you had either you
Oh
reached out
god.
to
We're doing story
I
time
know,
today.
right? You reached out to Alex or Alex reached out to you
Yeah.
because of Florida Brews
Yep.
Travelers. And you guys had talked a little bit and Alex was like, and he tells me, you have to meet this girl because she's gonna be like your best friend. And I
Aw.
was like, at
Foreshadowing.
the time, like I had just come out like of like some rough patches with
Mm.
like some very, very long-term friends. And I was like, I don't want any friends.
No friends for me.
I was just like, I don't want friends. And he's like, just come and meet her and everything. And we like clicked like immediately. We were at
Yeah.
Troubled Waters.
Troubled waters on the
And
patio. I like a patio.
You do?
and we just clicked immediately and then like started doing some stuff together. And then literally we were just I don't even remember
You
where
were
we
helping
were.
me. Well, before that, you were helping me get my T-shirt brand
Yeah.
going.
And then I ended up like getting roped into like not even roped in. It was like I want to meet more people. And so I started volunteering at, like every single like Tampa Bay Beer Week thing and then like all the things. And then all of a sudden I was like, yeah, I used to be in media and I want to do a podcast, but Alex doesn't want to do it with me and I don't want to do it on my own. And we just started talking and it was like, yeah, we should do this.
And then it was 2 years of,
and
yeah,
then-
we should do
then
this.
2 years of like, all right, let's start putting some things together. And
Yeah.
I want to say I would be like, hey, I think we should do this logo. And you're like, wow, okay, we're doing this, And so like, she's not the only one that ropes people in.
It's true.
I
I think it's a good quality of mine, actually.
I do too. I think because it makes you make everybody feel very welcomed and like very like, like especially like I did the same thing. I would get into a room and kind of be like in the back and you'd be like, no, come over here, and
Well, yeah, I don't know. When I started in craft beer, I worked at a place where I wasn't invited to things
Mhm.
necessarily. And I only got roped into craft beer because, a friend of mine was working down the street and I was trying to get out of the gym industry, if you can believe it. I used to work in fitness, which is, you think the boy girl situation in the brewery world is
Mhm.
fucked up. But I ended up, working at a place that didn't have a lot of connections. And so
Right.
I was, forced to go make those connections myself. And I'm just an extrovert and I love to
Yeah.
have people around me. And so I sometimes invite myself to shit. And then I'd be like, oh, you're doing this? That's cool. I'll be there to support you, and
Yeah.
like to hang out with you. And then then I think a couple, specifically females in the industry were
Right.
like, she's not going away, so we should probably start inviting her.
We'll just invite her.
She's gonna show up regardless, and she often brings snacks. So
Yeah.
we should
Yes.
start inviting. You want some snacks? I got some.
She's like,
I
"Ooh,
got
you got
pretzels
snacks?"
and hummus always,
But
and probably some.
I
I
just
do
wanted to
snacks, too.
make sure like that checked out that you had snacks.
Always.
on you.
I've gotten
Like,
away
it
from
was
the
a true
Snackle Box
story.
recently because of how
how much
often
we're
I'm driving.
traveling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
But
usually cheese and things at beer festivals and stuff.
yes.
I had a fanny pack for brew fests for a while, and I've upgraded to an entire back.
So when we travel, Kat and I don't always end up in the same place because she's got other things. Like we both work in kind of different areas of the industry.
Yeah.
So a lot of times I end up with whatever she has left at a place.
Like
So-
snacks.
Yes.
Snacks?
Oh my god, I almost texted you too because I was like, shit, I forgot my chicken fingers and my
Yeah.
hummus and the tzatziki.
And the bag of French fries
Oh, I forgot about the French fries.
that now are at my house because she left it at the Pink Boots Airbnb.
That's on me.
And everybody was like, "Who?"
I
Now,
didn't know what the food situation was going to be.
so I ended up the tzatziki got eaten that night and stuff
Good.
like that. But all of a sudden in the morning, everybody's like, "Where
I knew
did
the guac.
these?
I knew the guac and the queso and the tzatziki would go first.
Where did these fries
I took the
come
hummus
from?"
back.
She didn't have an ice pack, so she used that to keep the
You're
beer
calling me
bubbles.
out on today's podcast.
Yeah.
All right, that's fine. It's
Uh,
really good that both of you said nice
See,
things
this
about me
is great
before
because
this.
like now it's like this is like a whole story, and I feel like it could become now like
Like
a
a-
snack
like-
time. And then, but it's like whatever. It doesn't matter what the beer is. It doesn't need to be like cheese flavored pretzel beer, because that sounds deplorable. But like you could just name it snack
No,
time.
we
and there's, like,
totally-
the whole story behind
We
it.
need a beer collaboration named Snack Time
Okay,
Right.
working
Yeah.
on it. Yeah, let's
Yeah,
get
you-
it done.
let's
make
get
it happen
that
by beer
now.
week.
by Beer Week.
I was
Yeah,
gonna say,
but,
you're gonna have to write the recipe because you're like, I don't want to brew.
Yeah, maybe we'll go over to Nolan's and just brew it in the parking lot. Make a homebrew batch.
Back alley parking lot brew of Snackle beer.
I like that name for a homebrew, actually. Parking lot or back alley.
Back alley.
brew.
Yeah.
Back alley brews.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I think that works.
But like no one's not there anymore, so like
I
we're
know,
gonna
but so it'll
encroach
just
on
be
someone
like
else's
someone's-
property.
Yeah, it'll just be someone else's back alley.
All right. Well, I think we probably, between all of us, know enough homebrewers.
We can make
to
it
make
happen.
this happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
Back-
we just let it go.
back alley homebrew named Snackle Box or something.
Snackle Box is a great name.
We're gonna make that happen. But Abby, it was wonderful to have you on.
Thank you.
It's always wonderful to see you. We did miss you in Tallahassee,
I
but
know.
we did get to see you in Jacksonville.
Yeah. I'm
So
glad you came out.
until we see you again, which for us will probably not be that long, but for everybody else it might be, unless you come to Southern Lights, which you should because the beer is amazing. So if you come to Southern Lights, you can probably see Abby. If you don't see Abby, it doesn't matter because you could still get a great beer. And she has put her little sprinkle magic into.
A whole
and possibly
pan.
her
Remember,
hand.
a whole
A whole
pan. A whole- maybe. You don't know until you come to Southern Lights.
And we will see you next time.
Cheers, babies.